Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Ali Zaini teaching the Arabic class, and today our focus is going to be on homework number 6. And homework number 6, which is related to rule 280, and also we will be using rule 250 as well. Um, it's about rule 280 is about the sarf, if the sarf is allowed or the sarf is forbidden. And we said sarf means that if sarf is allowed, if sarf is not allowed, okay, if sarf is forbidden, then the noun that the sarf is forbidden for cannot have tanween or kasra at the end, with few exceptions. Okay, so it cannot have tanween or kasra, like we say here, cannot have tanween or kasra at the end. Okay, so let's start the homework. I edited the homework to make life easy for you. So I said I underlined the words that are names, not nouns. What do I mean by names, not nouns? Like, for example, the word Saliha. Saliha can be used as uh, a noun or adjective to describe someone, or can be used as a noun. So that's why it has underline here. And also we can be used as I'm sorry, here it's used as a name. Here it's used as a name. But here it's used as a noun. Okay. How do I know that? Because it's underlined. I put underline on the names used. Okay. So if it's a name, then the translation is just the name in transliteration, which is like the name in English, Saliha, and it's one female. And then Saliha here, when it's used as a noun, okay, as a noun, then it is doesn't have line under it, and it is translated to be righteous, one F. Okay, so the Saliha, here, uh, the Saliha here is sarf is not allowed. Why? Because of case number 1 here. Case number 1 is named female names or male names that end with ta marbuta. So that's a female name ending with ta marbuta. So sarf is not allowed according to rule 280. According to rule 280. According to rule 280. According to rule 280, case 1. So you check rule 280, case 1. Okay. Okay. Let's find about the name Muhammad. Muhammad can be only used as a name, not a noun. And let's see if Muhammad sarf is allowed or forbidden. Okay. Muhammad sarf is allowed or forbidden. Muhammad sarf is allowed. Why? Is it a female name? No. Or is it a male? Does it end with ta marbuta? No. Is it a female name? No. Is it an adjective that a name or an adjective that ends with ya alif noon? No. Does it end with alif? Does it start or ends with alif hamza? No. Is it a regular plural? No. Is it a name that can be used as a verb? No. Muhammad can't be used as a verb. Is it a name transformed from a verb? So there is a verb and you transfer a name from a verb. No, Muhammad is not, it doesn't have any verb or anything like that. Is it a foreign name? No, Muhammad is not a foreign name. Is it compound name made of merging two words together? No, it's not. Therefore, it's sarf is allowed. Sarf is allowed. Okay. When we go to walad, boy, okay, it's not underlined, and of course it's not, because boy is a noun, cannot be used as a name, or not being used as a name. Boy. Nobody calls his child boy. Okay. So how is that? Is sarf is allowed or not? We go over the list. We go over the list. Is it a female name? Is it a female name or ends with ta marbuta? No. Is it a name? Does it end with alif noon? No. Does it end or start or both of alif hamza? No. Is it irregular? No. Is it can be used as a verb? No. Is it transformed from a verb? No. Is it a foreign name? A foreign name? No. Is it a compound name? No. So therefore sarf is allowed. Sarf is allowed. Okay. Saliha. Now Saliha is an example that I want you to look at. Okay. Sa'ida is an example that I want you to look at. Sa'ida can be used as a name or as an adjective. As a name or an adjective. Okay. And basically, when it is used as a name, then the sarf is not allowed according to rule number one, according to case number one. If we go up here, according to case number one, because it ends with ta marbuta. So sarf is not allowed according to case number one of rule 280. Rule 280, case number one. Okay. Now, but if it's used as an adjective, or if it's used as a noun or adjective, okay, then it is sarf is allowed because it's none of those cases. It's not any one of those cases. 7, 8 cases here of rule 280. The rules are numbered so that it's easy to reference them. So when I say rule 280, we all know where rule 280 is. What rule 280? What is in rule 280? Similarly, the Misr can be used as noun or can be used as name. If it's used as name, then it's translated as Egypt. So Egypt is a name. If it is used as a country, then it's translated, it's one female. Okay, so Misr, does it end with ta marbuta? No, but it is a female name. It's a female name. Therefore, number one, rule one here applies. So here, sarf is not allowed according to rule number one. Okay, because according to, I'm sorry, case number one. Case number one. okay, which is this case right here. So it's a female name. It's a female name. Okay. Okay. How about Misr, which is country? It's a noun. It's a noun. So we go look here. Is it a female? Is it a name? No. Case number one for names. So no, case number one. Case number two, is it a name or adjective ending with alif noon? No. Is it a name or adjective ending with alif hamza or starts with alif hamza? No. Is it a regular plural? No. Is it can be used as a verb? No. Is it transformed from a verb? No. Is it a foreign name? No. Actually, it's a foreign name. Misr is a foreign name. And is it a compound name? No. So Sarf is forbidden here according to case number one and according to case number 7. So case number 1 and case number 7, because Misr in Arabic is a foreign name. Actually, okay. Country 1F, which is Misr, one female, Sarf is allowed because there is no case that the default Sarf is allowed unless it's listed in this table. And it's not listed in this table. Okay. Zara. Zara. Let me jump here. Let me jump to here. Naim. Naim. This is how it's going to be recognized. I want to find out the translation of Naim. So the first step to know is to see what kind of, what's the gender and the count. So we go back to table 250, rule 250. Rule 250, Naim. Okay. Does it end with female ta? No. Does it end with female ta or alif ta or alif noon or ya noon or the waw noon? No. Does it end with ta marbuta, female ta? No. Is it made of a, does it end with alif noon? No. Does it have an open ta? No. Does it end with waw noon? No. Does it end with alif ta? No. So the only two possibilities is that it's irregular plural or singular. Singular. Okay? Because it doesn't end with female ta, alif ta, or noon ya, or noon waw, or alif noon, or ya noon, or waw noon. Doesn't end with alif ta, alif noon, ya noon, waw noon. Therefore, it's singular. Okay, but I want to find out if it's a singular or a regular plural. The way to do that is to go to Google Translator and we take this word from here, which is نائم, copy and paste it here. Okay, Arabic, sleeping. Okay, so it is sleeping or sleeper. Okay, so نائم is sleeper, and it doesn't have an S at the end, so it's singular. So we go back here. You can use a sleeping or sleeper. It is best to use sleeper. It's better than sleeping because it's a noun. Sleeper is a noun, and it's 1M. It's 1M. Now, صرف is allowed because it's not any of the one cases in rule 280. لاعبة, wanna find out, it is regular female plural because it ends with تاء التأنيث, the female تاء. So we know it is a single regular female 1F, regular female 1F, singular female 1F, singular and it's regular female 1F because it ends with تاء مربوطة. Okay, so I know now it's 1F. I want to find out the translation, so I copy, I go to Arab Google Translator. لاعبة is gamer or player. Player is more appropriate. So you can use gamer if you want, but I prefer to use player. Player 1F. Okay. How about صرف? Is صرف allowed? You go to rule 250. Rule 250. Rule 280, I'm sorry. Does it end with the ta? Is it a female name or ends with ta marbuta? Or a name that ends with ta marbuta? No. But you say here, but you might say, okay, but this word ends with ta marbuta. Okay. Yes, it ends with ta marbuta, but it's a noun, not a name. If I put underline, then it's a name, but it's not a name. It's a noun. Player. It's a noun, not a name. Nobody uses this as a name. Okay. So it's not case number one because case number one is about names. It's not case number one because it's not a name. It doesn't end with alif noon or doesn't start or end with alif noon, so case 2 is out. It doesn't start or end with alif hamza, then case 3 is ruled out. It's not a regular plural, though case 4 is ruled out. It's not a name, then it's ruled out. Case 5 is ruled out. It's not a name, so rule 6 is ruled out. It's not a name, then rule 7 is ruled out. It's not a name, then rule 8 is ruled out. So, therefore, its sarf is allowed. Talib is, according to the Google translation, is student. Student. And to find out the gender and the count, we go to rule 250. To find the gender or the count, we go to rule 250. So rule 250. Rule 250. Does it end with alif noon? Does alif ta, alif noon, ya noon, waw noon? No. Does it end with ta marbuta? No. Does it end with alif noon or ya noon? No. Does it end with female ta followed by alif noon or ya noon? No. Does it end with waw noon or ya noon? No. Does it end with alif ta? No. Therefore, it's either a singular or irregular, singular male or irregular plural. How do I find out? Find out because when I take this one here and put it on Google Translator, it tells me that Talib is a student, and it's one student. It's not students. There's no S, so it's singular, one student. Therefore, it's not irregular plural. So, student is one male. And sarf is allowed because we checked everything in the tables. You should also check rule 285 and the notes for table 250, for table 280. The notes, okay, so we'll come to that. The word zari'aini, it is two farmers and it's 2M. I determined it's 2M and it's farmers by using Google Translator and using rule 250. How do I know that? You go to rule 250. Okay. It's double. It's dual. It's dual. According to rule 250, it's dual because it ends with ya noon. Ya noon, and the noon has a kasra. ya noon, or the noon has a kasra. Any of those cases, such as talibani or talibaini. Okay. So in this case, farmers is 2M. That's how I figure out that farmers is 2M. And in this case, sarf is not applicable here, according to rule 280. Okay, it's not a name because it is sleevers, 2M. It's not a name. This whole rule, rule 280, rule 280, the table of rule 280, doesn't apply to dual. Okay, dual, note number 2 says sarf is not checked for dual and regular male plurals. So that's note number 2. So note number 2, according to note number 2, sarf is not applicable. It's not applicable according to rule number 2, which is here. Actually, we were down here. Sarf is not applicable because it's dual. لاعبتان, players, 2 female. You might ask me, how did I figure out? Okay, because if I go to rule 250, if I go to rule 250, okay, it is case number, it's row number, it's row number 4. That's row number 4. Okay, so the row number 4. Why? Because it ends with alif noon or ya noon. However, it doesn't have the female ta. So however, it has the female ta. Therefore, it's 2F because it has a female ta, such as talibatani or talibataini. It doesn't have a female ta. It has a female ta. Therefore, it is 2F. That's how I figure out it's 2F. And according to this, what is the what's the surface status? Players are nouns, okay, and it's a double noun. So double noun, it's not applicable according to note number 2. I don't know why it's coming to be red. Strange. Somehow. Okay. Here it's not applicable according to rule number 2. لاعبتين is the same because لاعبتين is and لاعبتان are both used for female nouns. Okay, so it is this case here, which is row number 5 of rule 250. Row number 5 and rule 250. That's the row number. Okay. That's the row number, and this is the column number. So rule 250, row 5, if it ends with tan, ta alif noon, or ta ya noon, it's female, it's dual female. It's double female. Okay, so that's how I figure out it's 2F. And according to note number 2, it's not applicable. Sarf is not applicable. You don't check sarf for those because it's not, doesn't apply. Baqarat, I wanna find out what is the Baqarat gender and count for the purpose of translation. So I go here to table number 250, which is rule 250, and I find out that Talibat ends with alif ta. Baqarat ends with alif ta. Baqarat ends with alif ta. Therefore, it's regular female plural, which is row number 7. Row number 7. Okay. So, Talibat, singular, regular female plural, and you take it to Google Translator. It translates as female students. So I'll just be using students. For me, I don't have to write female students. I can just write students and 3 plus F. I'm sorry, I was supposed to do Baqarat. Baqarat. We're talking about Baqarat here. Baqarat. Cows. Okay. So we go here. And here it's cows. 3 plus F. Its count is 3 plus 3 and above F. Three plus F. Okay. It's not any to find out if sarf is allowed or not. We go to table. We go to table 270, 280. Okay. We go over the table. It's not a name. Doesn't end with alif noon. doesn't start or end with alif hamza, it's not irregular plural, it's not the name coming from a verb, it's not a name transferred from a verb, it's not a foreign name, it's not a compound name, because this is not a name at all. Nobody uses the name cows to call a child or call a person. Okay, so sarf is allowed if there is no alif lam. Of course, that's the rule. If there is no alif now, then tanween is not allowed for anything, for all kinds of count and gender. So according to this, sarf is allowed. So sarf is allowed according to note number 3. I don't know why the color keeps coming red. Okay. Katiba is writer. Using Google Translation and table rule 250, you determine its writer. Okay. And it ends with ta marbuta, it's 1F. Ends with ta marbuta, which is the female ta, is 1F. Okay. So it's a noun. It's a noun. And most of this table apply for names. So case number 1 doesn't apply because it's not a name. Case number 2 doesn't end with alif nun. Case number 3 doesn't end or start with alif hamza. Case number 4, it's not irregular plural. Case number 5 is not a name. Case number 6 is not a name. Case number 7, it's not a female, it's not a name. Case number 8 is not a name. Okay, so it's noun, and it is not and notes 1, 2, and 3 doesn't apply to writer. Okay, and case 250 or like rule 250, okay, row number 1 or case number 1 and case number 2 doesn't apply. So صرف is allowed. شجرتين, according to rule 250 and Google Translator, it's 3 2F. Okay, so as we know before, that according to rule number 2, which is note number 2 here, is not applicable. for dual does not applicable according to rule number 2. Okay. Let's jump to Ahmed, which is a name. So Ahmed is a name, and the translation is Ahmed, and it's one male. Ahmed is the second name of Prophet Muhammad. His name is in the Bible is Ahmed. Okay. It's a name. So we need to go there, table 280, and check. Okay. It's not a female name and doesn't end with ta marbuta. So case 1 is ruled out. It doesn't start or end with it doesn't end with alif noon. So 2 is ruled out. It doesn't start or end with alif hamza. So rule 3 is ruled out. It's not a regular plural. So rule 4 is ruled out. It cannot be used as a verb. Is that right? Yes, it can be used as a verb. Okay. Why? Because look here, it can be used as a verb. Because you can say, I Ahmadullah. So it means that I praise Allah. So Ahmad is can be used as a verb, which is praise Allah. So it's not only can be used as a noun, as a name, but it also can be used as a verb. So here is the case number 5. So sarf is forbidden, not allowed, according to rule number 5. Rule number 5. Sarf is not allowed according to rule number 5. One last example. Trump, the president. It's one male. It's a single male. Okay, so sarf is not allowed. Why? Because it falls under case number 7, foreign names. Trump is a foreign name. Okay, so sarf is not allowed because it's a foreign name, which is rule numbers, case number 7. Case number 7. I have no idea why is this thing red. Okay,